All right, what you're looking at, I'll point to it right here. This is the post that the nylon pulley goes on. It goes on the post, and then, believe it or not, that looks like nylon, but it's not. It's a steel washer that then goes on. Now, whoever used it so much, the pulleys actually stopped turning on the post. And this dial cord, which is almost like dental floss, actually cut through the pulley and it fell off. That's what made, if you watch past videos. Now, you put in normal operation before you put the dial cord on, you put the pulley on the post, you put the metal washer down, right? And then you melt the post. That's what you're dealing with. Now, I'm going to show you how you deal with a melted part. You get one more try after you do this. Now, I don't know if the video is going to stop or if this plastic is going to cooperate, but I'm going to show you how I've dealt with it in the past. You know, I have so many repairs under my belt that I don't even want to think about anymore. I wish I had a real life in the past, but I chose to hide in repairs because I wasn't real awkward with people. But you can see this has been melted. So you cut it in a square on the top. And at first, you want to leave the diameter. Okay. Did it work? Yeah, okay. So now I cut the dial cord. I kind of figured that would happen. I should have done some safeties. But in other words, now there's the post. I can put the pulley on there. Let me check this dial cord. Yeah, that's real. Oh man, that's really strong dial cord. But in other words, I can put a pulley on there. I had the broken pulley somewhere, but that's what happened. Yeah, I kind of knew that would happen. You know, if, and if. All right. Now, I should have, I just got out of bed. I should have made sure that didn't happen. But whenever I push myself to go a little faster, I make mistakes. And that's why my videos, I take so long to get a radio done. I don't like making mistakes, because this dial cord I don't have. This stuff is really, man, this is really strong. And it's ribbed. Oh, man, that's why I cut right through the pulleys. All right, I just wanted to show you that. But that's how you fix that. In other words, now you put the new pulley on. You put the washer, this is a steel washer, on top. And you have enough plastic to melt one more time. That's what I wanted to show you. In the interim, I did damage. Oh, here it is, here. So now you take the pulley that you make, and then you put your steel washer on, and you have enough right there to melt one last time. Right? Now this radio is a Kenny Rogers special, and you say what? You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. This has had a lot of things wrong with it. And it has seen making sure it's still recording. It has seen a lot of work. No, not a lot of repair work. In other words, someone's really used this radio. And they cut through, even the other pulley on the other end isn't turning. This one here. This one right here. In the frame. This one here, let's see if it turns when. You gotta remember, that's a steel washer on top. The pulley don't want to turn. It barely turns. It needs lubrication. But the cheapest construction method that they could use would be the plastic post, which I believe the post is part. Yeah, it's part of the frame. It's junk, right? And I have one of these radios, the newer model, but I wanted to stay busy. And so I don't have to think about what's going on with politics. You know, the country is really messed up. One country's practicing to go to war with us because we've been shooting their supposedly drug boats. So those are all destructive methods, uh, operations. So you won't think about the Epstein files, and you might be on Trump's side. I feel bad for you. I had two bosses that used all the same tactics that Trump uses, and both of them, it did not end well for them. Life caught up with both of them. That's all I want to tell you. You know, oh, unbelievable. But I tell you, as life went along, I would come home from work, and rather than being social and getting married and all that, I would go into workroom, my workshops. I had two workshops, and I'd build or repair things. And I had friends. I would go fishing and stuff like that. But I watched them go. Some of them get married 3 times, and And then the thing is, because I put other people first, their problems are in my head most of the time. And even here now, I didn't tell you the story of. There's a guy he has epilepsy, and he has like mini strokes or whatever he has. He goes seizures, and well anyway. I went over to the school where he works, the Mennonite school, and I bought him over 50 movies. You know, but you could give him 50 of the top movies, and he would still complain. You got to hear this guy. You know, his life is a total mess. I try to help him when I can, but I left my number with the videos and that. Nobody like that will ever call and thank you. He'll have complaints. You know, I'll just tell him, watch the movies you want and throw the rest out. I don't care. That's where I said, you know what? Rather than me throwing these movies out, I watched them. Their movies, they're good. There's a box set of Jurassic Park. There's a 007 set. I know they're good movies. There's not Tom Hanks, the other one. Anyway, uh, he's going to have complaints. I know he is. I just know him for 17 years, and the guy doesn't remember my name. He's got serious problems. But what amazes me is his attitude. Now, I told you I worked with handicapped people for 3 years, and the owner of the building that hired him thought I would stay and work with them. The ones that did sign language had their own language, and I had to learn it. It was really annoying. And then at the end of 3 years, I said, "This isn't for me." And the place paid next to nothing. And he thought he paid a lot of money. But anyway, I've been around handicapped people for 3 years. People that have seizures, all that. And, they go into seizure and they bite their tongue. And I got involved in all that crap. And this guy, that's why I helped him. He was like I understood what he was going through. But just because somebody is handicapped or has problems doesn't mean they're not a finicky or pain in the ass person, you know. But I just wanted to show you, yeah, I did it. I cut the dial cord. It's going to be bothering me now because that dial cord has to be replaced. You know, I don't think it's within the range where I cut it where I could get a knot in there. I don't think so. I screwed up. All right, it's good to screw up once in a while. See, what happened was I just got out of bed. I want to go walking, so I said, let me do this video real quick and then basically show you how poorly made this radio is inside. Beside the slide controls, getting water in them. See, I had to repair almost everything rather than buy one. And, I'm not in the mood. I have the piece of nylon spinning in the drill press. And I'm using a hacksaw blade to get the starter groove into it. And it's really tough nylon that I got. And someone mentioned in the comments about 3D printing parts. It takes too long. If you had a production and you're making a part, yeah, that works. But to sit there for several days to make a part for a radio that should be in the garbage, You know, at some point, I told you at Kenny Rogers radio, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. Now, when I opened this up, I saw the battery leaked, and then it had water in it. There could still be more problems, but I told you it's just a keep busy radio. You know, make the pulleys, get them working. Maybe choke up on the dial cord somehow. You know, there's always a way around it. I've been down these roads before, and I do have good documentation on this. There is a manual on the internet, and so even the amount of turns that the dial cord goes around the main tuning knob or the shaft of the main tuning knob. It's got how many turns. It even shows you an overhead view which direction to wind the strings and how the turns lay in there. It's good. It's good. But like I said, the grease or oil that they put on the posts over 50 years dried out. It was probably grease, and then the pulleys stopped turning, and then that dial cord is like it's worse than dental cord. It's ribbed, and it's probably twisted pieces of dial cord, and it's in the nylon family, and it has the ability to cut through any pulley that doesn't turn, and it did. It cut it. Here it is here. What's left of it? It cut it. Cut a piece of it right off. I think that's it. All right, that's it.